All right. Good to see you all. Some of you I've met before. I've met you once before, haven't I? Yeah. All right. Very good. Hey, come on in. Yes, we got a free one down here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good. Okay. For those of you who have not met me, my name is Tim. I teach Chinese martial arts, teach Tai Chi here. Um, and one of the things that we have done quite a bit over the past few years is anytime I'm the manager on duty on the weekend, we just kind of integrate a uh, meditational Qigong kind of class. Could be a blend of things. This time of year, it's usually something about reducing stress, right? Uh, um, uh, so before we get started, is anyone hoping to attain something in particular today? No, just don't want to get down. Okay, I can take care of that, right? All right. So what we'll do is generally the pathway to reducing stress is a number of smaller things that accumulate to what you might feel like is peacefulness. Okay. And it can come from a number of places. The peacefulness usually gets disturbed whether we have a conflict in ourselves, uh, you know, expectations that have not been met. Usually they're, pre-designed expectations that we've already set up for ourselves. Um, Conflict of the heart, with others. Or this time of years, usually in the Chinese teaching, they refer to these seasonal things as milestones, right? And this is the time of year that, like for myself, the milestones of uh, I just turned 60 2 days ago, right? Right, and this is my okay. Oh, well, very good. And this is my, for my some of my milestones that those are the sort of things that am I where I thought I would be, or did I think I was going to be further along? There's all kinds of things that happen. It's also the memory of like when we've lost folks, whether it's been through divorce, loss of life. My mom just passed. My mom. This will be my one of my first full years and a Christmas gone since my mom has passed away. So it's been there's a lot of things happening. All those things can accumulate for stress. That's my story, right? We all have stories. Some of our stories are real. What we usually find is about a half of our stories are made up. Where half of our stories, the worry of the things that have already happened in the past, or the story that we've made up about our worry about the things in the future that haven't come yet. All right. So if you look at where we are right now, as we sit here inside of this nice room, we're all safe. Okay. So if you can at least give yourself permission for the next 30, 35, 40 minutes or so to, okay, at least I'm safe. And we can practice a few things. And that will give you at least to the door, walks you to the door of finding a way to reduce stress. And the other thing really is a reminder that, stress reduction, the Dalai Lama kind of explained it, at least the way I understood him saying it, is kind of like dusting the house. A clean house is not a passive act. A clean house is an active act. And even if all you do is have a window open, you still have to dust the house, even if you don't go outside, because dust still accumulates. So it's an active act to cleanse ourselves, to kind of cleanse the heart, cleanse the mind, and blow it off a little bit. Okay. So we will move a little bit. So, if you need to, you might want to spread just a tad or stagger, just so you don't crack each other. Right. Uh, it's always nice how folks can get very uniformed, but You're good. You just stay right there. All right. So, what we're going to do first is we're going to do a little physical work. I will generally change things from a synchronization of body and breath and mind to a regulation, right? So we'll kind of go back and forth between synchronization and regulation, and then that can allow us to massage ourselves to a little different place, okay? Any questions before we get started? If you do have questions along the way, it's perfectly fine to just, throw up a paw and ask, and we will, address those as we go. First, let's just try to make sure that our body is prepared to be peaceful. Okay. And so to do that, let's just start by rolling the shoulders up towards your ears, pull them back, squeeze a little bit, and then let them come down. Good. Pull up, squeeze back. As you exhale, good. Let's do a few more. Pull and down. Two more times. Pull the shoulders up, draw them back, squeeze a little bit, and let them come down. And we're going to do one more. Good. Drop the chin toward the chest. And then we're just going to rock the head, let it just kind of swim gently over toward one ear. Let the chin drop back down, swim back to neutral, and over the other way. We're going to do that one more time to each side. Am I the only one hearing any snapping and crackling? Good. And rest. Yeah, right. You got all kinds of stuff, right? Now, next exercise, one of the things that we will do is we'll go back and forth with the little muscular contractions. Physiologically, it's what I call utilitarian meditation, right? Is that biologically, your muscle, fascia, the soft tissue that you have will relax the most it's going to relax today after a major muscular contraction. So when I ask you to squeeze, like I said, being peaceful and relaxed is an active act. The more you'll squeeze and let it gently go, the more relaxation will set in there. Okay. So don't be afraid of it. You're going to be fine in anything we do. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work the elbow and wrist a little bit. So you're going to take one hand, put it, it doesn't matter which one, roll it up and out. It's called a snake's tongue. Mm-hmm. And ideally, to get the most out of it, you see how my hand gets to my belly button, my fingertips go up, and then my fingers go up my chest line, under my chin, and just like a snake, it comes out. Mm-hmm. There you go. See, laughter helps, right? Sound effects help. There you go. Do a couple more. Good. Now let's just make some big wrist circles. Hold it out there, swimming around like a great big paintbrush. Mm-hmm. Take it the other way. Does anybody want to tell me how long this class is supposed to be? Because I'll go as long as I feel like. It didn't say? Oh, I'll try to have mercy on your souls. Right? All right, let's take it. Roll other side. That's it. Mm-hmm. There we go. Good. I like that. do one more. And now the big paintbrush work. Try to keep your arm still, move your wrist. Good. Take it the other way. Good. Shake them out a little bit. All right. We want our hands to feel free as much as we can. You know, one of the things that contributes to a lot of stress is the accumulation of a lack of communication. Right? You didn't say things you wish you would have said. You said things you wish you didn't say. Right? There's all kinds of things, and you know, we have our internal dialogue that we all have to deal with. Remembering that, you know, most of the time when a human being wants to express themselves or communicate themselves, it comes out through the lips or the fingertips. Whether you're telling them or writing it down or calling them, you know, it comes out through the fingertips and the lips. So we want to make sure that, yeah. And of course, if you're married, you have the evil eye. All right. All right. So yeah, so we can still get it in. All right. Now what we want to do is we're going to take, and I would like to get our body upright a little bit and get the intercostals for you to breathe fully. These muscles all through here need to be loose, right? So what I want you to do is just kind of take in a breath, nice and full. Turn and just look behind you a little bit. Don't push too hard. I like to take a couple of breaths while I'm here, just staying still. Then breathe in. As you exhale, come back to neutral. Good. Now we're going to go the other way. Breathe in. Exhale, turn. Breathe in. As you exhale, come back to the front. It's okay to smile a little bit if you feel like it. All right. And what we're going to do now is a little tapping of the lower legs. Okay. If you're familiar with any parts of Chinese medicine, whether it's acupressure, acupuncture, before there was a lot of that, there was what they would call tapping. And you would see them, you know, and usually they would tap along the meridian lines that we know of as called meridian lines. But this is an exercise that's great, especially for lower leg blood flow and things like that, which is, you know, typically a problem here in the United States for a lot of folks. And so what you do is you use your hands and you'll use the inside and the outside. And so you'll take and start at the hips and just tap assertively on the outside going down, and then use the other side and tap coming up on the inside of your thigh. Get it up nice and tight, and then back down. We'll do about 5 to 7, and you can do as many as you got time for. Mm-hmm. There you go. One more round, because we like it. We love it. We want some more of it. Okay. Now on the next one, again, a little bit of tapping action. And I'll show you a couple of things that you can use a little bit later too. But one is just for the other clavicular, right? So we have the lymph nodes. And when we stress the lymph nodes, which we just did legs and the lower lymph here, okay, and the other lymph are called the subclavicular lymph nodes, which run right through here, which help protect your organs, right, from infection and disease. Like if you get bit by a little cat or something, you'll sometimes have a lump from underneath your arm, and that's your lymph nodes grabbing it and holding it so it can't get to the organs, right? Now, if we breathe, just deep breathing exercises improves the lymph flow somewhere close to like 50 to 60%. So, I mean, that's free. Yeah, a couple of minutes, but we're going to add to it a little bit with some percussion. So what we'll do is for the guys, what you're going to do is you're going to, my favorite, right, is you're just going to give me a Tarzan beat, right? Yeah, not too much though. I don't want you getting excited over there. All right. For the ladies, what you do is you cross, okay, and you tap right here at the same time. Okay, so as we go through, what you can do is you can breathe in. One more time. Good. Okay. Remembering that as you stress, a lot of times as the human body stresses, your body has natural knowledge. You don't have to, you can't override hundreds and hundreds of years of ancestral knowledge. Your great, 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 great grandparents passed down knowledge of things that happened to them that exist in your body. How do you know that? That's not philosophy. That's theory, right? Because when you're born, if you heard a loud gunshot, what's the first thing that child does? Cries, screams, ducks. Okay? Because that's how you were wired, right? So some things, though, we learn along the way is stress. We didn't get what we want. It didn't happen fast enough, right? It's not the way I wanted it to be. Okay? So we induce our own story of stress, right? We want to try to make sure that we can separate those. These sort of actions kind of help do that. Okay? We're not saying it's wrong to be stressed, because if you were unstressed, you would just as probably be dead in a different way. Okay? We need enough stress, just like we need enough tension to be upright. Because if we're not upright enough, if we don't have enough tension, then we sulk. Okay? But we won't go down like that either, right? So regulate breath. This time, one hand on the heart, one on the abdomen. There you go. And you'll see how I'm sitting in the chair. This is a relaxation class. For my Tai Chi students, y'all know I'm a little, but in this class, this is about relaxing and reducing stress. So you find a way to relax. The only thing I will say to you is that whether you want to sit back in the chair, sit in the middle of the chair, try to find a way that you feel upright and that you're carrying yourself. Poise is the word that I use. Okay? So when you sit, one on the heart, one on the abdomen, as you breathe in, the lower hand is going to expand as the breath rises through the body. And as you exhale, the upper hand will dip down first, just gently, and then the abdomen sinks in. The Chinese name for this exercise in English is called filling the teacup, where the bottom of the cup is in your pelvis and hips. Your breath is the tea, and it fills up to your shoulders, the lip of the cup. As you exhale, the tea empties from the body back down to the bottom of the cup. You're using your hands just as a sensory, trying to guide the breath up through the body on the inhale and descending as you exhale. Take your time. Do one more time. Good. All right. That was about 9 reps. If you're ever not sure how many you should do, somewhere between 5, 7, and 9 always works. Okay. Any questions about that exercise? How'd that feel? Felt pretty good. Did anybody have any observations about how you were breathing when you started? Did it change as you went through the exercise for some of you? It did? Okay. So it's normal. It's all normal, right? One of the things about reducing stress is acceptance, right? Judgment doesn't help stress. It only adds to it. So what we want to have do is accept a few things about ourselves. Like, sometimes I get a little excited. I get a little colorful. I have to accept that about myself, which means y'all will have to accept it as well. Right. But as you're practicing, you'll notice that as the mind calms down, it'll guide the body to a different place. All right. So what we're going to do this time, very similar. We're going to start with one hand low, one hand up, but we're going to just take the low hand. Again, it doesn't matter which one. You're going to take the low hand, let it swim out as you breathe in. The other hand is going to start to drop. As you exhale, bring it down into a centering breath. Focus your mind right down the middle. And you breathe in. Do one more. Allow the hands to just rest upon your thighs. That's one posture. Another one is to stack the palms, and lightly touch the thumb tips together, just in front of your belly button, like so. Either one is fine. I'd like for you to close your eyes for just a moment. And if that bothers you, leave them about halfway open. Okay. Sit up nice and tall so you feel your body become poised and erect. Remind yourself by saying to yourself, I'm safe. I'm well. I'm here. And if you really have some courage, you might even say, I'm happy. And just say those things to yourself just a few times gently. Because your mind is speaking to all 72 trillion cells that make up your body in this moment in time. And if you believe it, they'll believe it. Just taking a breath. As you exhale, make sure that you let your shoulders relax a little bit. All right. And we're going to do a little regulation of breath. We'll practice a calming breath, or an extended breath is what it's sometimes called. And you're going to inhale, count of 4, exhale for a count of 8. I would prefer, if at all possible, that you breathe in through your nose. And it doesn't matter which way you exhale. But if you're really trying to control your breath on the exhale, it's easier to exhale through your lips and control it than it is through your nose. Okay. Also, remembering that physiologically, when you exhale slowly, it stimulates what is called the parasympathetic nervous system. It actually tells your body that you're okay. It tells your body it's okay to take your time. You're not trying to go slow. You're just trying to learn to take your time. Okay. So breathe in, count to 4, exhale, count to 8. We're going to do 9 repetitions. I'm going to lead you through the first one. Okay. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, we'll do one more. Return to a natural breath. And each time you exhale, allow yourself to melt away any sadness, melt away any sickness, melt away any stress. Allow yourself the sensation of yin, the sensation of lightness, as if your body could float like a cloud or a buoy on the sea. And if you're not quite sure how that would feel, give yourself permission to pretend. What if I could float? What if I was as light as a bird? One of the things that becomes evident through the course of a light practice is that you have to learn to let go. You can't carry the burdens of yesterday, yesteryear. You can't carry the worry. They're all like stones that just weigh you down. So I pose this question to myself. What if I could leave things right where they were and not carry them around and put them in my pocket of life every day? Breathe fully. Exhale lightly. Let your forehead become smooth. As if it was honey melting down through your face. There was so little tension. The skin just hangs. And what we want to do in closing is to prepare ourselves. And perhaps look back in time at a time where you felt confident. Perhaps you felt strong or proud of yourself. As your mind walks through that Rolodex of memories, find one and then put it on like a coat. That confidence, that strength. That stability in yourself. Wear it today like an armor. I pray to take in a deep breath. As you exhale, let your eyes open up a little bit. And it's real good to just kind of let the fingers and toes move a little bit, but gently. And bring back the feeling. Don't leave it there. Bring it back with you. Good. All right. Any observations? How you feel? Oh, good. Good. Anybody else? I always do that to her. All right. How y'all feel? All right. So one of the things I always ask students to do is that when I take you through a practice, each time I take you through a practice, first of all, it's usually different. I very seldom, I don't have a script. I go through base what I feel, what happens in the moment was what in Chinese called following the Tao. Okay. So one of the things that happens is each time you take a class with me, is each time is going to be slightly different. But each time I'll ask you to do the same thing. Try to find at least one of the things that we practiced today that felt good, that made you feel better. And then try to find one thing that you found was challenging, whether it was mechanical or breathing, whatever. And try to remember those two things. And then when you go to practice later this afternoon or the first thing tomorrow morning, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, right? Is practice the one that was more difficult first and finish with the one that felt good. If that's the only two things you do. And if you'll just do those two things, I mean, you'll get better every day. Now, if you want to enhance this practice immensely, I mean, really immensely, is do the same practice whether you're seated in a chair or directly on the ground. Get your feet or your rear end, your skin, not your clothes, but your skin against the earth in the grass. Just let it touch the grass. The magnetism of the earth will literally draw out the stress. Stress raises your stress inside your body will cause your pH to change. Okay? You'll become more acidic because of the hydrogen ions. When you put your skin against the earth's magnetism will literally draw that out. It will reset the electrical charges in your body. Y'all are familiar with the phrase electrolytes? Okay. That's not, it's not fancy. Your body is an electrical machine for the most part. And when those electrolytes get out of balance or out of whack, then it changes how things work. So you could take the very same thing we did, put your feet in the grass or on the earth, and it'll help bring your pH down. The other thing is to let the sun touch your skin. At the same time as doing that, you'll be creating vitamin D3. It's the only vitamin on the face of this earth when you were born that was so important that the gods in nature said, you need to be able to make this one by yourself. It's the only vitamin that your body can create. But it can only do it in the sun. Okay? So if you'll put your face in the sunshine and put your feet on the earth at the same time you practice, you will exponentially feel better. I promise. And you'll be healthier. Okay? And the last thing is, which has been probably the vein of my existence for the past 30 years, because I've been teaching the patients and students, everything I just showed you and told you is free. Cost you nothing. And I can't hardly get people to practice. Right? I asked my doctor about this not long ago, and she said, well, Tim, it's because most people don't want to work that hard. They'd rather take a pill. Okay? Let's not do that. Right? You want to feel better? That's part of the reason you came to this class today. Okay? Take the practice with you. It's available to you for free. If you ever have a problem, my office is right there in the wellness area where we have a massage. You can always stop and say, hey, I can't remember one of those exercises. Or can you show me something? I can promise you, I can show you more in 5 minutes than you can do in 50. All right, Julie. All right. Any questions? Okay. Was it worth your time? I hope. Very good. Well, thank you all. I enjoy getting to see you and work with you. So take it and practice. And if you want to give me a Christmas present, practice. That's all I need. Nothing says thank you more than seeing somebody practice.